Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the 9th standard social classes. Dear student, in this class we are going to study the new lesson in the political science chapter or political science part. That is the third lesson, state government. What is that? State government. My dear pupil, in this class we are going to deal some important learning aspects which are the nature of the state legislature, the legislative assembly, which is also called as Vidhana Sabha, and legislative council, which is also called as Vidhana Parishad, their membership and functions. Along with that, the nature of the state executive, the governor, his qualifications and functions. The last point is the appointment of the chief minister and his function. So these are the things we are going to deal in this class. Dear pupil, in the last class we discussed about that in the central government or union government, the entire country is having central government for the whole nation and the state governments for the all the states. So this kind of a system we have in our country. I hope that you understood very well about the union or central government in the lesson union government. And now we are going to study the state government. Dear pupil, the Union of India comprises of 29 states and 6 union territories. And now recently the number of states has been changed as well as the number of union territories also has been changed. So go through your general knowledge book and try to know how many states are there in our country and how many union territories are there in our country. Got it? So totally the entire Union of India comprises of states and union territories. Along with that, the state government follow the model of the central government or union government. My dear pupil, the state government or all the state governments follow the model or the structure of a central or union government, and thus the state government has the legislature, executive and judiciary, and these three are also called as the organs of the government. What is that? Organs of the government. Thus the state government has the power to frame some policies and laws on the various subjects, especially the particular subject like under the state list. The state government is having the power to frame the laws on the subjects which come under a state list and try to implement them. My dear pupil, in the last class when we were discussing about the union government, there the union government is having the power to frame the laws on the subjects which come under a central list. See, according to the Constitution has provided the rights to the state government to prepare, frame laws on the state list, whereas the central government should frame laws to the subjects which come under in central list. So this is actually what our constitution has given, right to union and states. And then some states in our country have two houses. Only some states have two houses in our country, like Parliament. See, Parliament is having two houses. Come on, can you name of them? Yes, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is also called as upper house and Lok Sabha is called as lower house. See, likewise, all the states, only few states are having two houses, like Parliament. Whereas some states have only one house, that is Vidhana Sabha. This Vidhana Sabha in the states are also called as lower house in the states. But all the states do not have legislative council or Vidhana Parishad. You must note it. Got it? See, this Vidhana Sabha is also called as legislative assembly. Let us see, my dear pupil, the state legislature is composed of the governor and the two houses. The state legislature is composed of the governor and the two houses. This governor and the two houses. The comprising of the governor and the two houses is, yes, this is called as state legislature. What is that? State legislature. Got it? Comprising of governor and the two houses. See, what are the two houses here in the state government? Yes, these are Vidhana Sabha and Vidhana Parishad. The upper house is called Legislative Council. What is that? The upper house. The upper house is called as the Legislative Council. Council, my dear student. This house is also called as the elders house, seniors house. Got it? And temporary house. Sorry, this is permanent house. Got it? And then when we come to other one, that is, yes, Vidhana Sabha. Another house, Vidhana Sabha. But in pupil, this Vidhana Sabha is also called as the, yes, lower house. How we call these things? Yes, lower house. This house is called as the temporary house and youngest house. Got it? Youngest house, lower house, temporary house. This Vidhana Sabha can be removed, dissolved. Got it? Whereas upper house or legislative council cannot be dissolved. Permanent house and house of elder. And then, see, these are the two houses comprising of state legislature is comprising of the governor and the two houses. Two houses are upper house, legislative council, and lower house, Vidhana Sabha, in the state. The upper house is called Legislative Council, which is also called as the Vidhana Parishad, and the lower house is called Legislative Assembly and Vidhana Sabha. So this is actually the structure of state legislature. Got it? A student alert with that. The Legislative Assembly or Vidhana Sabha has representative of the people, this Vidhana Sabha is also called as the representative of public or people, whereas this legislative council has representatives from various fields like Rajya Sabha in the parliament. Got it? This legislative council can be compared to Rajya Sabha in the parliament, whereas Vidhana Sabha can be compared to Lok Sabha in the parliament. Got it? See, this Vidhana Sabha is a house where the people represent directly, whereas legislative council is a house where the people who are very experts in various fields represent this house. Got it? So that is why this house, legislative council, is called as the house as elder house. Got it? And then Vidhana Sabha. Let us know more detail about Vidhana Sabha. This is also lower house in the state legislature. Let me write first thing, state legislature. Yes. In this state legislature, the first one is Vidhana. Yes, Vidhana Sabha or legislative. Yes, assembly. Very good. Legislative assembly. Let us know more detail about the lower house in the state government. Especially, we are going to discuss about the Karnataka government, Karnataka legislative assembly. My dear pupil, the strength of Vidhana Sabha depends. The strength of the present and the total strength of Vidhana Sabha depends upon the total population of the state. It depends upon the total population. Got it? Total population. Total population of the state. You must remember this very important fact. The total number of Vidhana Sabha always depends upon the present total population of the state. Got it? And then the maximum number of seats of any Vidhana Sabha. Dear student, as I told, all the states are having Vidhana Sabha. The maximum number of seats of any Vidhana Sabha should not exceed 500. How much? It should not exceed 500 numbers or seats. The maximum number of any Vidhana Sabha should not cross the number 500. It means the number of any Vidhana Sabha should be below 500 in number. It should not be exceeded more than 500. Got it? And then and also it should not be below. It should below 60. Got it? It should be below 60. Exceed 500 or be below 60 in number. Got it? This is actually the structure of Vidhana Sabha and some rules and regulations. How many numbers that Vidhana Sabha must have. And then the governor can nominate. The governor of the state can nominate one member from Anglo-Indian community. From Anglo-Indian community. Anglo-Indian community. Yes. One. How many number? Yes. One member. One Anglo-Indian member can be nominated by the governor to the assembly. That member from the committee of Anglo-Indian to the assembly or Vidhana Sabha. This power exclusively to the governor of the state. Then, if he feels that they are not represented properly, however, the number of seats in small states is less. Got it? So this is actually the Vidhana Sabha's examples. And examples in Mizoram and Goa, there are 40 members in each. This is very important one. And then Mizoram and Goa are having only 40 in number. Dear Papin, rules say that should not be below 60. The total number of Vidhana Sabha should not be below 60 and should not be more than 500. But here, Mizoram, the two states Mizoram and Goa are having only 40 seats. Why? Because of according to the population. According to the population and more number of people do not like to compete. So for only this reason, exclusively, only Mizoram and another one, Goa, are having only 40 members in these two states. Got it? Then, if you want to know more detail about Vidhana Sabha, let us see the Vidhana Sabha in Karnataka has how many? Yes. How many numbers? How many members are there in Karnataka Vidhana Sabha? Yes, there are 225. The total number of member of Vidhana Sabha in Karnataka state, that is 225 members. Among these 225 members, 224 members are elected directly by the people through adult franchise. My dear student, listen carefully. Among these 225 members of Karnataka Legislative Assembly are elected by the people through adult franchise in Karnataka. So what is called adult franchise? Yes, I mentioned this statement in the last class. Adult franchise is a process of election where the people who have completed their 18 years of age, they are having voting power. This is called as the adult franchise. Got it? Through adult franchise, the people who have completed 18 years in the state, they can vote to their member and send the member to the assembly through their voting power. So these 220, among these 225, 224 members, 224 members directly elected by the people through adult franchise, through general election. Got it? And whereas one Anglo-Indian, my dear people, as I told last earlier, that is one Anglo-Indian, one Anglo-Indian is nominated. Whereas one Anglo-Indian is nominated, who nominates one Anglo-Indian to the assembly? Yes, as I told, who is that? That is none other than governor. What it? Governor nominates one Anglo-Indian to the assembly. Now the total number of Karnataka state assembly is 225. Got it? Yes. 225. This is the Karnataka state government present number of member of Vidhana Sabha or assembly. Then, very next important aspects of Vidhana Sabha is the qualification. Let us see the qualification. What are the qualifications are very essential. What qualifications are essential to be the member of Vidhana Sabha or Legislative Assembly to the state. The student, this very important thing that the member should first qualification is the member should be a citizen of India. Should be a citizen of India. And the second thing is should have completed 25 years of age. The member should have completed 25 years of age. Along with that, should not be employed in any office of the government in profit. Got it? You should not be employed in any office of profit of the government office. So, you should not be a employee in the government office. And the fourth important qualification of Vidhana Sabha member is should not have been punished by any court. Should not have been punished by any court of law. And the last one is very important. Should not be of unsound mind. He should not be considered as unsound mind man person. It means he should have proper sound mind. Then only he can contest to the election of Vidhana Sabha. Then should not be insolvent. Should not be insolvent. And the last one is should possess the qualifications as decided by the parliament from time to time. The member should possess the qualifications declared by the parliament from time to time. Got it? These are the 7 qualifications are very important to the member who want to become member of Vidhana Sabha. Got it? Then, very important thing is the term of office of Vidhana Sabha. My dear pupil, the term of office of Vidhana Sabha. Yes, what is the term of office of Vidhana Sabha? Very good, that is only 5 years. How much? 5 years. You can compare this Vidhana Sabha with the Lok Sabha in parliament. The term of office of Vidhana Sabha is the member of the Legislative Assembly. The member of Legislative Assembly or Vidhana Sabha are elected for a term of 5 years. How much? He is elected to the term of 5 years. And then, however, the assembly may be dissolved. As I told, Vidhana Sabha can be dissolved, but Vidhana Parishad cannot be dissolved. So that is why Vidhana Sabha is considered as the temporary or non-permanent house. Can be dissolved before the expiry of a full term on the recommendation of the cabinet. My dear pupil, you must observe one thing. Only on the recommendation of the central cabinet, the state assembly of any state can be dissolved within the fulfillment of 5 years of term. Got it? So that is very important. And then at the time, the state will have under the presidential rule. My dear pupil, if any Vidhana Sabha in any state dissolved, if Vidhana Sabha of any state is dissolved, then the presidential rule will follow in that state. Got it? So the presidential rule will be there in the state. If the members do not intend to continue their power in the assembly, they should give their resignation to the speaker of the assembly or Vidhana Sabha. Got it? If the person of the assembly is not ready to work or not ready to continue his membership, then he can give resignation to the speaker of the house. Got it? So here, and then the speaker and the deputy speaker in the assembly, My dear pupil, the speaker and the deputy speaker in the same assembly are elected from the among the elected members of the house. The speaker and deputy speaker are elected among the elected members of the assembly. The proceedings of the rules and regulations of speaker. The proceedings of the house are carried under the chairmanship of the speaker. What is it? The proceedings in the assembly are carried on the presidentialship or on the chairmanship of the speaker in the assembly. So here he has the function of maintaining the peace, prosperity in the house, maintaining the peace, dignity and decorum of the house, summoning the meetings and postponing the meetings, safeguarding the rights of the members in the assembly, and casting the decisive vote, very important, casting the decisive vote when bills receive equal number of votes, supporting and opposing them. So these are the functions of the speaker. See, what are the, let us see the next thing is powers and functions of the legislative assembly. What is that? Powers and functions of the legislative assembly. Powers and functions. Powers and functions. Powers and functions of the legislative powers. Legislative assembly. Legislative assembly. Let us see what power are there in the legislative assembly. First thing is, here this legislative assembly is having many powers. The first power among them, that is legislative power. What is that? Legislative power. The first power is legislative power. Legislative power. See what legislative power that Vidhana Sabha have. See, my dear pupil, as I told you earlier, this Vidhana Sabha from any states of India can be compared to Lok Sabha in the parliament, in the central government. Likewise, here Vidhana Sabha or legislative assembly is having more power than Vidhana Parishad or legislative council in the state. The legislative assembly has the power to frame laws related to the subjects mentioned in the state list and the concurrent list. Yes, I mentioned in the last class, my dear student, this legislative assembly is having the power. Now we are discussing about the legislative powers of the legislative assembly. What it is the state. Here, legislative assembly is having the power to frame laws and make laws and policies to the state, to the subjects which come under in state list and concurrent list. Our constitution has provided to the government to frame laws of 3 subjects. Our constitution has provided created 3 subjects. That is central list, state list and concurrent list. What it? See here, central government is having the power to frame laws on central government and concurrent list. And the state governments are having the power to frame laws on state government and state list. So that's in the same sense, Here, legislative powers. The legislative assembly is having the power to frame laws related to the subjects mentioned in the state list and concurrent list. Got it? And then the bills have to be passed by both the houses. The bills have to be passed by both the houses before they are sent to the governor for his signature. Got it? Bills are to be presented in both the houses in the assembly before the bill sent to the signature of the governor. Got it? The governor may send the certain bills to back the houses. The governor may send certain bills back to the assembly or to send the president for his approval. My dear pupil, the governor is having the power to send back to the assembly for the reconsideration, or the president may send this bill to the president of our country for the approval of the bill. When the bill gets the signature of the president of our country, then the bill becomes law. This is the rule. And these are the legislative powers of our legislative assembly. The next thing is financial. What is that? Financial powers. And second thing is financial powers of a legislative assembly. Got it? Dear student, the legislative assembly is having greater power than the legislative council in the state. Whereas, while we were discussing in the parliament, while we were discussing in the state houses or parliament houses, in the parliament houses there are two houses. One is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the parliament, Lok Sabha is having greater power than Rajya Sabha in the matter of financial matter. Likewise, when we come to the state government, the legislative assembly, which we also called as the House of Public, House representative of the public or people, is having a greater power than the legislative council in the matter of finance. So that financial bill must be presented firstly. Very important. My dear pupil, here financial bill must be presented firstly in the legislative assembly in the state. Got it? That is very, very important. The financial bill has to be first presented in the legislative assembly and only then in the legislative council. If it is presented firstly in the legislative assembly, it can be sent to the legislative council for the study. And then through the legislative council, though the legislative council does not have the power or reject any financial bill, it can delay it for 14 days. My dear student, in the matter of finance, the legislative council does not have any power to reject that bill. Though legislative council does not have complete power on financial matter, but it can delay the financial bill for up to 14 days. Up to 14 days in this state. See, if the financial bill cannot be returned back to legislative assembly from legislative council, then it is considered that the council or legislative council approve that bill. Got it? Then, if the Vidhana Parishad fails to send the financial bill within the 14 days, it is assumed that the Vidhana Parishad has also approved that bill. Then it will be forwarded to the governor for the approval. This is the process of financial matters in the Legislative Assembly. And then here ultimately what we can say that, yes my dear Kopil, Legislative Assembly is having greater power than Legislative Council in the matter of finance or finance. Got it? Then, my dear Kopil, why this Legislative Assembly is having greater power than Council in the matter of finance? Can any one of you tell me what is the main reason? My dear student, the main reason is the House of Assembly or Legislative Assembly, it is the house of public or people, or the entire Legislative Assembly represents people. That is why the entire financial matter of the state firstly presented in the Legislative Assembly. Then, next thing is administrative power. What is that? Administrative power. Administrative powers. So let us see what is the administrative powers of Vidhana Sabha or Legislative Assembly. My dear Kopil, the state executive is completely responsible to the whole Legislative Assembly in the state. Got it? The legislative, especially in the state executive, especially the complete state executive is completely responsible for the state assembly or Legislative Assembly, and can be in power. The state executive can be in power only as long as it enjoys the trust of a Legislative Assembly in the House. Got it? The state executive can enjoy its power as long as the trust of the Legislative Assembly. Then each member of the council of the ministers are responsible for whole Legislative Assembly, and these are individually accountable. All the ministers are individually accountable, and the whole council of members is accountable to the Legislative Assembly. So this is very important in the matter of administrative power. And then the electoral power, very important, my dear Kopil. That is not last, but one. What is that? Electoral powers of Vidhana Sabha. Very important powers of Legislative Assembly. The elected members of the Legislative Assembly has the power to elect the President, members of Rajya Sabha and Legislative Council, Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Assembly. So this is very important powers of Legislative Assembly. I would like to repeat once again. The elected members of Legislative Assembly of all the states have the power to elect the President, members of Rajya Sabha and Legislative Council, Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Assembly. So this is called a very important power that they are having. And along with that, other powers of legislative assembly. I have read here my bit. Other powers. Other powers of legislative assembly. So what are the other powers? Along with that, the members of the legislative assembly discuss various bills passed by the parliament when it is really necessary, or when the issue arises in the assembly. Got it? The next thing is the reports of the State Public Service Commission and other reports are discussed in the legislative assembly. So this is the powers and functions of Vidhana Sabha or legislative assembly. My dear student, I hope that you understood very well about the structure of Vidhana Sabha, qualifications of Vidhana Sabha member, and the powers and functions of Vidhana Sabha in the class. I hope that you understood very well about all these aspects of today's class, and I hope that you enjoyed very well. And also watch this video and try to comprehend the meaning. Go through your textbook and subscribe the channel as much as possible. Got it? And take down the today's homework. The question is, explain the powers and functions of a legislative assembly. I repeat once again, explain the powers and functions of legislative assembly. Got it? Okay. Once again, I hope that you enjoyed today's class very well, and we will meet with the next class with new concept. Got it? Until then, take care and bye. Thank you.